good day. This is Prophet Femi Oshin from Wall of Fire Ministry. What I bring to you today is about prayer. First, what is prayer? Prayer is the act of fellowshipping and enforcing the will of God. Under the act of fellowship, you have worship, you have praise, you have thanks. Under the act of enforcing the will of God, you have supplication, you have command, you have decree, and all the likes like that. Then I ask you today, do you pray or do you love prayer? Now, if you don't pray and you don't love prayer, number one, prayerlessness is idolatry. If you don't pray to God, it means you are not acknowledging God as God. Because when you don't pray to Him, you won't worship Him, you won't praise Him, you won't thank Him, and you don't care if His will is done here. Number two, prayerlessness is rebellion. Prayerlessness means you are saying, why should I pray? Must I pray to God? I don't need God. I don't acknowledge Him as God. That rebellion is also close to idolatry. Number three, prayerlessness means deadness of spirit. Because you pray from your spirit. The Bible says, those that worship Him in truth and in spirit. If you do not pray, it actually means, number one, you are not a Christian, you are not born again. Because if you were truly born again, your spirit would have been recreated, restored, and reconciled to God. Another one, prayerlessness means not loving God. Why do I say that? Because when you don't pray, you don't worship, you don't praise, you don't thank, so you don't love God. And when you do not love God, that means you will not have intimacy with God. And if you don't have intimacy with God, it means you're not going to love Him, you are His enemy, and you are not intimate with Him. Then another one, prayerlessness is visionlessness. If you see yourself that you don't love to pray or you don't like prayer, it actually means you don't have any dream or vision or purpose where you need God. When you have a dream or a vision that is bigger than you, then you'll be compelled to do what? To pray. Prayerlessness is disobedience. Because God says in the book of Isaiah 56 verse 7, He said, my house shall be called the house of prayer. If God says the primary thing we should do in church is to come and pray, it means you are disobeying God. And prayerlessness will kill your vision. Those who are wise, they say, if there is a man to pray, there is a God to answer. And if you are not praying, my brother, my sister, number one, you would lose that thing they call worship, praising, thanking, which is fellowship and intimacy with God. And prayerlessness means you cannot fulfill your purpose. In case you are thinking, but there are people who don't pray and their life is good. But I can assure you, those people who are not praying, no matter what they have, they cannot fulfill a purpose. Because the only person in the whole universe that can cause you to fulfill purpose is your God. And now if you are struggling to pray, man of God, I want to pray, but I don't know what to say. I can't pray for too long. I can't thank God. What will be my advice for you? Continue to pray. And you can also ask God, God, give me the power and the spirit of prayer and supplication. Thank you very much. Have a lovely day.